on Rogers TV. I don't know why, but there's like a feeling of Friday on today's show. I'm going to call today's show like Friday Light. It is Friday Light on Daytime Ottawa today. We have a great show ahead. We're going to be talking guide dogs for the blind on the show. They have teamed up yet again with Purdy's Chocolatier to raise funds, of course, for a great cause. Lee Versage is back. He's our Ottawa Senators insider. All that and more. But we start off with one of my good friends. He used to host Daytime Ottawa in Durham. Christian Pritchard joining me from Aurora Imports. Welcome.
Hey, man.
Great to have you back.
Great to see you, Derek. It's great to be here. I'm glad to be a part of Friday Light.
It's Friday Light.
I'll bring in the
Doesn't
food.
it feel like Friday?
Yeah.
I don't know. The vibes are here. The vibes are here for a Friday.
For sure.
I wanted to start with that. You hosted Daytime for how long?
3 years.
Okay, 3 years.
And it was funny. I was thinking about that on the drive up today from Toronto, and I thought it was 10 years ago.
That you left?
And I thought it doesn't feel like that. And I got to tell you, and you know, you and I have talked about this, but anyone who wants to do community-based television, do it.
Yeah.
Because I got to say, and I've been very fortunate, I've done TV all over Canada.
Yeah.
I've done it in the U.S., Europe. I've been really lucky. But the most fun I ever had was on Daytime in Durham region.
It's just, isn't it an amazing atmosphere, right?
Yes.
And I think part of the reason it is because it's volunteer driven.
Yep.
Right? And then for those of you at home that don't realize, but everybody, like our crew in here in the studio, they're all volunteers. Yeah. Our crew outside, our director, Dave Davies, in the control room, all volunteers. Right. You watch Ottawa 67's hockey here on Rogers TV, volunteers involved in that as well, both in the truck and doing camera. It's amazing.
And Derek, the sense of pride I've had through the years, people that I've worked with behind the scenes that were in front of the camera, who've gone on to like spectacular careers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really, it's a sense of pride.
100%.
You know, and you're like, this is awesome. And you know, you still have these friends, and it's something very special, and it's very dear to my heart. And the people I worked with too, same with them.
Yeah,
I really hold it very dear. It was really fun.
Surprised. And you're doing some Omni now, right?
Yes. Yeah. You know what? It's really, really cool. I've been doing a show for about 4 years on Omni with, it's in Italian. I don't speak Italian. I'm not Italian. I work in Italian.
Really?
It's with Chef Johnny Cesca.
Okay.
And it's called L'Arte Cucinare. Nice. And it's all over Canada. And, you know, the amazing thing, and again, this is the reach of doing TV.
Right.
And then something you think, well, no one's going to see that. No way. I'm in the middle of Alberta, nowhere.
Right.
Like way in between like Banff and Summer. Someone comes up and goes, I see you on the show with Johnny Cesca. I like your food. You're not Canadian. Or you're not Italian. I'm like, no, I'm not. How'd you know? You know what I mean?
Right,
but
right.
it's just, you know, and that's one of the wonderful things, again, about, you know, the career that we have, me doing food, doing TV. It's just, I just feel so lucky every day.
Yeah,
I
grateful,
really do. I really
right?
do. Very
so
grateful.
Absolutely.
Very grateful.
And now you're with Aurora Imports, right?
Yeah,
How did that come to be?
It's really quite amazing that I had my own company, and I was doing a lot of, if you will, celebrity stuff. I was working for Dairy Farmers of Canada, Maggie International, doing a lot of stuff, and then, you know, having quite a large catering business. But I did a lot of Italian.
Okay.
I started doing some culinary tourism in Italy. One of the things I worked on early on was culinary tourism.
Right.
And would build stuff just regionally in where I live, just outside of Toronto and Durham region, to help there. Then it got bigger, and we were helping Prince Edward County and then parts of Ontario. And then it was my love of Italian food. I was asked to go do it in Tuscany.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and so that...
You were like, let me think about it. I thought about it. I'm in.
I know. And so since then, I've done about 14 tours of Italy, from the north to the south. And now my job with Aurora brings me to Italy to bring products in, learn over there. It's taken me to Ireland, other places too. It's
wonderful.
It's an amazing career. And the thing was, with Aurora, it was great. And this is where I always say, especially with people learning or broadcasting or their jobs, ask. Sometimes you'd be surprised, right?
True.
Like the job wasn't posted.
Right.
I actually went and asked for a job. And they said, because I was doing some consulting work.
Right.
And I said, I love what we do here. I want to be part of the we. I want to be part of the family.
Yeah.
You know? And do this. And luckily for me, which was wonderful, and it's an only in Canada thing. And I always say this too. Think about it. I grew up in the beaches in Toronto.
Yeah.
First generation Canadian, English descent. My dad was born in England. How did I ever end up in Italian food? Really? I mean, like all
just
of us.
because you loved it.
Yeah.
You had a passion
But
for
again,
it. And you asked.
Yes. And the thing is,
That's how I came here to host Daytime.
I believe it.
To be a full-time employee, because when I first started, I was getting an honorarium per show.
Yeah.
And then I just kept asking, listen, I want to be full-time, I want to be full-time.
Yeah.
And eventually they said, okay, shut up, you're full-time.
But you see, that's the thing. I always say, I try to say that to my own kids and people that I meet. It's like, if there's an opportunity, ask. It's hard to ask, and they may say no. Big deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Move on.
We've talked enough. What
talk
are we talking about here? Let's
okay,
talk
Derek,
food.
I brought some really fun stuff.
Yeah.
You know, let's get into the fun. The economy sucks. No.
But you're correct.
Yeah, that's right.
It does.
And so, what we're hearing in food, and we all know there's been a lot of talk in food from the government all the way down.
Yeah.
Let's look at how we're utilizing food.
Right.
Okay? And not just the costs and all that stuff. It's the way you use the cost, if you've paid a little more or a little less, how you move forward. We're going into the whole entertaining season. We've just come through Thanksgiving. This is a really important time to say, okay, things like this is what we call in a time food giardinetta. And everyone knows the charcuterie board.
Right.
Because that's meat, cheese, all that great stuff. Phenomenal.
Right.
Can cost a little bit of a pretty penny to do sometimes.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And you should do that because the holidays are for enjoying. What I like with giardinera is it's pickled vegetables and things. It goes back to, like, no matter your culture, we always save what we have, right? But what I want you to do now is to utilize stuff, but then just over and over again.
Right.
We're throwing out so much stuff.
It is insane.
We
talked about that with Kevin McKenna, who you know from Wapoos on the show. I've talked about it with probably, I would say, a dozen chefs since we came back in September.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And look, if I were to preach that I'm not guilty, I'm lying. Because it's
same thing, same here.
But I know I can do better.
Yeah.
And I know everyone can. And when we're thinking about money and things, see, think about how you can, just make things easier. But I did bring in some new products so you can try too. It's fun. This is called Piccola Pizza Cracker. This is like a little cracker. Take a look at it. You see? I don't know if you want to show everybody.
Beautiful. Look at that.
Look at that. That's made in Italy, and it's actually got a little pizza cracker.
I love this.
It's really, really cool. So you might want to, have a quick taste before we go to the break. Okay. This is just red pepper, sweet. Okay.
So not too spicy.
No spice at all. Okay. And then if you wanted, you could put some cheese on there too, the mozzarella.
Okay, I'm going to try this.
Let's see how he does here. My job's on the line. Come on. Hope you like it.
Oh my God.
I know. Simple. And that's what we want to is simple, entertaining stuff. Again, in the second segment we're going to do after the break, I will show you how you've entertained and then you come back to utilize it in a secondary way for your family or entertaining again.
Right. Yeah, and because, to buy, and I'm not talking about what you have here, but if you're doing just meats and cheeses, right, as a charcuterie board, not only is it expensive, that's where waste comes in.
Absolutely.
Because if we always tend to buy so much, right, so that we'd have a variety.
100%.
Listen, as Christian said, as promised, he'll be back after the break to show you how you can take this and create something else. So we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. This is fantastic stuff.
There we go. So now we'll talk about panettone.
Okay.
And I'll get you to make one. What we'll do is I'll get a little oil in the pan.
Yeah.
And we'll take some,
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Unbelievable. You just never see that. What a shot.
The OHL on Rogers TV.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university. So they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Ottawa, it's the national capital of Canada. But how much do you know about the city's history? This is Phil Jenkins. Join me as I take you on a journey through Bytown's beginnings, Ottawa's crowning as capital, amalgamation, and its becoming a city of 1 million citizens. Watch The History of Ottawa according to Phil Jenkins exclusively on Rogers TV.
Join me, holistic chef Daniela Croco, for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, right here on Rogers TV.
You like what you see.
Hi guys, my name is Vi and I'm a part of Encore Ottawa 3. My set at the Meridian Theatre is coming out this week and I hope you tune in.
It's been 2 years later, you're still.
Welcome back to the show. Back with culinary adventurist and executive chef from Aurora Importing, Christian Pritchard. And we're now telling you, well, not we, Christian is, because he's the pro. But yeah, so you've done the charcuterie board. We just talked about waste. And perhaps this is what you have left, maybe your company's left. You bought too much. You're going to show us how we can use some of this stuff, right?
Absolutely.
For the next day, the next couple of days.
You know, I was talking to the crew before we went to air, Derek, and someone was saying to me that, they were at one of the big box stores, and everyone's excited when the panettone comes in.
Right.
And I'm very proud of that because being a non-Italian and promoting that product, now we're getting into gifting a panettone, okay?
Right.
And I've got some here that I'm going to leave for everybody after. It's going to be great,
Fantastic.
The sweet ones.
Thank you.
But there's also ways thinking about using leftovers and what you've been using to enhance something. So I've cut into this panettone. This is a classic.
Beauty.
Yeah, this is a classic panettone, Derek. So this is the orange raisin, and panettone is bread. Panna, bread.
Right.
You know, from the north of Italy, famous all over Italy now. But what I want to do is a sandwich that I've created, and it was on that Italian show I told you.
Okay.
At first, people are looking at me like, something is wrong with this guy. Okay? But when you think about cooking...
It's a cake,
it's bread. It's bread, but we have a lot of...
You usually use it as a dessert.
You do.
Right.
But there's ones that you can do. There's ones with apple. We've got raisins. Remember, we use a lot of... What are tomatoes? They're fruit. Hello.
Right.
So you can do that kind of stuff. But sweetness and salt of mortadella. Right, buddy?
Oh,
come on. Some
absolutely.
mortadella on there.
Yeah.
I've got the mortadella on here. Put that on there, okay? Now we're going to get a little... you want to put some... What do you think of that red pepper?
Fantastic.
Yeah, man. So what we'll do is we'll put that on there.
You brought a sausage one last time you were here.
Oh, yeah.
Like next level delicious. I was putting it in everything.
Right
it was
on,
so
man.
good.
That's terrific. So everyone's like, you can even grill this on your barbecue.
Oh yeah, of course you
man,
could.
just give it a little spray on there, and it's terrific.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, buffalo mozzarella, like the mozzarella.
Buffalo.
Yeah, there's the filo di latte, but this is the actual buffalo from Buffalo Milk.
Okay.
So this will,
nice.
And if you've got some great Canadian or English cheddar, put that on there. It's absolutely delicious.
Would you recommend bringing that up to room temperature, this cheese?
Whatever.
With
that one, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
Some of those aged like the English and the Irish cheeses. Yeah, they're kind of nice that way. But again, keep that in mind if you want to save that. The oil's secreted. You're going to put it back in. It's going to be a different kind of taste, right? So now here's where we can have some fun.
Tried to sound smart there, folks.
First of all, look at how good that looks just on its own. Where should I go? Camera
right over there
right here?
to Stephanie's camera.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
That's a beauty.
Look at that hanging there too. That's always great. So we'll put this in here. Now, grill it. You can do it on a flat top grill.
Yeah.
Like I said, a barbecue. Does anyone have any of those panino presses?
Oh, tons of people do. That would be perfect.
It's absolutely awesome in there, Derek.
Yeah.
And so don't feel bad to put either a little butter on here because panettone, one of the key ingredients in panettone is butter.
Butter. Butter makes everything better.
Sure it does, right? Now I used olive oil because, why not? It's all good. Because, I was cheap. I didn't buy butter. I'm trying to save some cash
Do you see
okay?
Butter's like $8-9 right now.
Man,
I don't buy butter. If butter goes on sale,
yeah,
I'm buying like 6 of them at a time.
I've become that guy.
I am. I freeze some of them.
I know.
But butter lasts quite a while in the fridge no matter what.
It does. It's amazing. But you're right. And that goes back to what we were talking about. Derek, you think because I work in food, I don't think that way? When I'm shopping, I am looking very carefully at what the prices are.
Oh, me too.
And if anyone knows, too, like there's coding in stores. There's one thing I get to know, it's retail. There's numbers in stores where that's the final price. So
Really?
I can't give you the numbers, but if you start looking through your stores, you'll see.
Why can't you give us the numbers?
Because it wouldn't be fair right now. You know, because maybe they'll put my products at that price, and I'll have no job next time I come. All right. Here we go. Now,
all right.
Look at that.
Oh, that's a thing of
it's
beauty.
Almost like, you know, and everyone says with panettone, you know, bread pudding and things like that. But I'm telling you, once you try a sandwich with the heat, it's like nothing is this good. And Derek, you know what?
And the smell, right?
I know.
You got the sweet and the savory together, as you mentioned, the salty.
You can even see that crustiness on there, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You know,
absolutely.
And
so, Aurora, are you guys everywhere now? Like, no, because I remember in the beginning you used to find them in specialty stores, right? Like La Bottega, and the Castro's here in Ottawa, some of the other Margot Foods as well. But
we are. I mean, we have a lot of stuff, okay? Now, it's getting more and more. I think the great thing, you know, again, it goes back to our Canadianness. We are embracing products of the world a lot better.
100%.
I find it a little bit odd sometimes to see the Italian in the ethnic aisle. I'm like, really? Like, no, that sounds funny, and I don't mean, but I'm thinking, what is ethnic now to us? We're so,
because we're so multicultural, so much diversity.
My friends are from all backgrounds, and I'm like, you know, so
Ottawa's the same.
Yeah,
right.
Big city,
very much the same.
Cosmopolitan.
Yep.
You know, so okay, so Derek, let's try this now. Like you could do this.
Man.
I want you. I'm going to cut it up for you, buddy.
Okay.
And I want you to have a little bite. All right.
All right.
Mortadella's good.
Oh yeah. Listen, you know me. I like everything.
I know you do. So try that. I'll get you some napkins. We don't want to. We don't want to ruin the clothing sponsor here.
This could get ugly, folks.
Yeah. No, it won't.
You talk to the good people at home while I try to get a bite of this thing.
Okay, hold on.
There you go.
So I'm getting nervous too. And honestly, this is yours to make whatever way you want it, right? And it's simple.
Delicioso.
Exactly. And the thing is to think about cooking. It is principle. Sweet.
Yeah.
Heat. Fat. And like bitterness too.
Right.
All good. Okay, and that's the
and
thing.
You can combine all those things.
100%.
That's the beauty of that's the beauty of cooking.
Yeah.
Outside of baking, right? Baking a science. Cooking,
absolutely.
Creativity. Have some fun.
Terrible baker.
Are you?
Terrible, because it requires precision and following the rules.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I admire that. I think
you're a bit of a rebel, too, right?
I can tell my wife
these
that.
bass guitarists. You know these bass guitarists? Right. They're rebels, folks.
That's right. Because if you're playing in G, let's just go to A and screw up the whole song, right? You know. But that's the thing. That's the thing that doing Italian food has taught me.
Right.
Discipline. Because you know what? You can make great food if you have great ingredients.
Agreed.
You're set.
Agreed.
And you know what? You can still have great ingredients at, a little less cost as long as you utilize.
You'll be back with us in December, right?
Absolutely.
We're going to be doing, We're probably some holiday recipe ideas? Hot dogs. Holiday recipe hot dog ideas. No. We're going to talk more about the great products as well. Thanks so much for coming all this way. Really appreciate it.
So much fun, man.
We'll be right back after this.